And by the way, Jefferson did some amazing things. This is true of current people. I mean, I wrote about Elon Musk. People say he's the most evil person ever. He's the most amazing, great person ever. I'm going, no. Like any Shakespeare character, like Henry V.
Right.
You know, he's great, but he kills all the prisoners, Henry V.
You know, there's this bias that I'm guessing, I don't want to presume you were raised with it, but I feel like I was raised with it, or this sort of conventional wisdom that developed, which is the great geniuses are all flawed.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, do you have to be flawed to be a genius? Is there a through line
Right.
that you think exists between Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Benjamin Franklin, Leonardo da Vinci?
Yeah, that's the biggest of all questions, and Shakespeare tackles it, is all of our heroes have some dark side. Could you pull out that dark strand and have an even better person? Or is that dark strand part and parcel of who they are? The writer George Packer, you may know, did a book on Richard Holbrooke, who lived a block from here. And Holbrooke did amazing things, but he had a really dark, manipulative personality. And Packer's last paragraphs are, could you have had a Holbrooke without the dark side? Would he have been Holbrooke? And I end my Elon Musk book that way too, saying, with his brother and everybody trying to take away his phone so he quits tweeting things, they say, we need an impulse control key. I said, yeah, but with an Elon Musk with an impulse control key, that would be pretty to think about. But would he actually be shooting the rockets to Mars?
I was just going to say there's no rocket ships without it.
And
right?
so, and Wired magazine, when I did my Steve Jobs book, they had a cover story about the book. And it said, did he have to be such an asshole? And Wozniak in the book, at the very beginning, Wozniak says, you got to answer that question if you're going to do, Steve, did he have to be so mean? Did he have to be an asshole? Very end of the book, I'm with Wozniak. Steve is dying. He's wearing 2 turtlenecks because he's on stage, but you know, it's clear he's sick. And he's introducing an iPhone. And I asked Woz, who's standing in the wings with me, give me the answer. He said, well, if I were running Apple, I wouldn't have been that mean. I would have made sure everybody had I wouldn't have fired people in the elevator. Then Woz pauses and said, but if I'd run Apple, we probably wouldn't have done the iPhone. So that's what for each reader to decide. Now on Jefferson, sure, it would be pleasant to think of a Jefferson who, when he wrote that sentence, he knew slavery was abhorrent. If you look in the Greatest Sentence book, you see the first draft of the Declaration. He has screeds of sentences against the slave
but this
trade.
Is the American contradiction of our whole history.
Which is
we
why, yes.
walk around and we know what's bad, but we're like, well, I'm not going to do something about it now. Because
John Adams says that in the book. He knows slavery is bad. He's an abolitionist. But then he says, we can't touch this subject now or whatever. I tell my students at Tulane, I said, all right, you want to take down a Jefferson statue or Andrew Jackson statue or whatever, I get it. But before you do it, think about if someday your picture is in the hallway here because you've done something cool, what are they going to do 50 years, 100 years from now? Who's going to be wanting to take down your picture for something you're doing now? What will they judge us for in the future? And we don't necessarily know. I mean, driving cars, eating meat, permitting abortion, banning abortion, you know, who knows?